Welcome back, YouTube. It's my channel of an everyday encounter in an ordinary life of an Aspie. As you're fully aware that I've been basically sharing what I've been sharing of like the anxiety series, I'm just going to put that on hold for now. I would like to share with you something else that brought my attention, and someone actually in that community of the Aspie community that I've been working on the Facebook site pretty much of the Asperger's worldwide and whatnot, of a girl named Robyn Goldman, who tagged me, basically, who wants to do an autism tag awareness pretty much and asking 5 questions basically. So I want to thank you for that, and I'm going to share my views on these 5 questions that is shown here right now. She wanted the questions to be answered as pretty much of the 5 as following. What's the best of having AS or autism? The hardest part of my day when I'm having my AS or autism. The least few autism treatments or medicines, or an alternative question was, into that one she read, what's your least favourite piece of advice or saying? 4, if you could choose a dance for your doctor or therapist, what would it be? And 5, what's the one thing you wish people knew about when you're having autism or about autism and AS? So here goes to share my answers. As you guys are aware though, however, I have been basically answered to some of these questions already, but some of it might sound repetitive or the same and whatever, but I apologise to you all about this, but I'm hoping that hopefully, as I said, this will just create a better understanding and an awareness between you and I anyway. Okay, number 1, what's the best part of having AS or autism? Pretty much, well, with me is obviously, as I agree with some parts of Robyn, the one that I got this from, basically that, you know, some of us have photographic memory to an extent that we'll remember dates, figures and whatever else it could be, and also that I feel that it's to a point that we have that kind of, you know, photographic memory. Sometimes it can be shit hot, sometimes it's not, even though sometimes we get in a heated debate with certain people around us, be it, you know, in the AS community or just people in general, sort of thing, as well as pretty much we have our own hidden gifts and talents no matter what it is in our lives, pretty much, like any of us. As you're aware though, some of the people with AS pretty much, or autism, have their own set kind of favourite subject, maybe, be it technology, science and all that. As I said before in my very intro, that mine's health science and science in general of certain things, sort of thing. So it's just a matter of just going about it, so to speak. Okay, and hardest part of the day with AS or autism for me is, as I said before, with my other conditions and disorders, is trying to, you know, get up in the mornings and try to motivate myself, but despite that, depression comes into play too, as well as we've got to realise that many people have different challenges in every day, no matter what it may be it depression, be it like they may have lost somebody and they just feel they can't get up and go, sort of thing. But I use my depression and I use hopefully as a motivator to myself and others around me, and to encourage others just to, you know, no matter what we go through, that we can, you know, can do this. Another one is sometimes when I socialise with people, I see through black and white, and sometimes I see in depth and I soak everything up like a sponge, and sometimes I get into a heated discussion of some things that I can recall in that time of day, and then sometimes I may lack of that understanding, and sometimes some people may twist it around what they say to suit their cuppa, even though sometimes, even if people think that people with AS or autism is just pretty darn thick, which they're not, they've got to realise that, you know, we're our own person. I, for one, like to examine the situation of certain things, also to problem solve and hopefully solve it as quick, smart as I can, as I said. But I find that sometimes also, when I'm examining the situation, sometimes with the people that are involved, they can be so ignorant and arrogant towards me about what they expect me to agree with them at one given moment of time, without me thinking of my own and standing on my own 2 feet, pretty much. And then at the end of the day, you know, I feel as if I've lost my voice, you know, I feel as if I should be standing on my principles of what I believe in, and then sometimes when I get swayed on that, it's just not a good look, you know. But sometimes also another one, when it comes down to it, is like when I socialise also, is basically if you've got a problem and you expect me to answer to your problem or seek out, don't throw it back at me. That's one of my other peeves at the moment. Anyway, number 3, the least for treatments for autistics, pretty much, or what have you. There's no treatments or cures for autistics or people with AS, pretty much. You know, AS is a part of us, and it's like going to be stay and remain with us. It's just how we can cope with it in our everyday lives, like anything else in our lives. How we treat it, how we manage through our day is up to us, obviously. Also, there's no treatment, obviously, for adults with autism or AS, however, which is sad, really. As I said, basically, that there needs to be maybe some sort of treatment or something that can get us up and go, so to speak. As the saying goes, so that many people think that we should take some of them pills, be it a red pill or blue pill, what I've been reading on one of the article, one for cure, one for happiness or something, I can't remember, but I'll share that later on in the piece. Number 4 of the A part of it, though, the least advice that is given, I've got so many to share with you that really peeves me off. It's a pet peeve. There's too many of them, and one of them, few of them are as follows: get over it. You don't look like you're autistic. 3 is basically you're an attention seeker. 4, it's all in your head, you're crazy, sort of thing, label mentality. That's about pretty much what I'm going to say here, but let's be real and honest here. Sometimes many of us with AIDS or autism, however, do find it hard to move on. Sometimes when people tell us to move on and forget about certain things, sort of thing. The reason being is because I hate it when it comes down to another statement is calm down, it's no biggie, or whatever. It's no big deal. It may not be for you, but it is for me. The reason why it would be for me is simple. Despite that, me, sometimes I may look cool, calm, collected, come to the point of now that I am trying to not have my silent meltdowns that I have, be it, my shutdown, isolation kind of meltdown stages. But then again, that's just me. And then sometimes when it leads to these meltdowns, the panic attacks, social anxiety attacks, all these other disorders that I have comes into play so much. It's like trying my hardest to calm down. I may not be able to calm down in a similar fashion like you guys, but it takes a time and a place for me to do so, as well as certain steps and procedures, like anything, probably for anyone as well as me, that all just people in general, so to speak. Number 4, if you could choose a dance for your doctor or therapist, what would it be? Well, that's a tough one, because to be honest with you, I like to do contemporary dance, drama dance, sort of thing, and it may range from hip hop to Zumba. It depends on my mood, basically, I guess. Dance is an impression in the form of music as well as whatever that comes into it, and that's how I look at it, even though, it's kind of hard to describe that one, but I'll leave it as that at the moment, because I'm all about different patterns and different style of music depending on my mood, be it listening to it, be it dancing to it, be it singing to it, sort of thing. When many people notice that I'm kind of girl that will just trying to hide everything in amongst what I've been through in my 28 years. Anyway, number 5, something you wish people knew about autism that is difficult, pretty much, is to having AS that will still like you in one way or another. I find having AS is a blessing, as I said in one of my videos. Despite it, many people may think it being a curse. Despite it also hard living with it every day, I try to take it one day at a time right now, even though I plan ahead, sometimes it turns to custard sometimes with certain things that I had in my mind, and then I had to slow down. Yes, our mind is wired differently, however, as well. Yet I am who I am today, and if I didn't have AS, would I be treated differently? For sure I would be, probably, most likely. I'm still treated differently regardless of this, however. But despite it all, I am a young woman determined to where I want to be. Despite that, sometimes I have little, parts where I have to jump through hoops of certain things at the moment. I'm not perfect like anyone else. If we were perfect, the world would be dull and boring, pretty much. People think I'm really hard, yet I'm a determined young woman striving for success, regardless where it may be, of those successes. I can be inquisitive also, due to my inquisitive nature. I do my homework and research like crazy of certain things, be it health science or other things in general. Sometimes I try to look at different angles of a problem and more, despite that, regardless of the problems, some people may think there's only just one solution to every problem, but if you have more than one head to the problem, you should be able to solve it. I wouldn't be the most caring, patient, loyal and compassionate person that I am, that people have met me in general. you know, yet I've got told many times before, another peeve is that many people with AS or autism ain't empathetic. They are empathetic. That's just bollocks, pretty much. Truth of the matter is, I'm the kind of person that will feel real deeply, but, you know, and I care so deeply about certain things, regardless what it is. Sometimes it breaks me, sometimes to the point of it makes me have a mental breakdown sort of thing, of certain things that I care about. Also, another thing is, yes, I care too much, and maybe too much to the point that I get hurt emotionally, physically, spiritually, and whatever else. As us people with autism and AS, we're pretty much hypersensitive in that kind of manner, when we feel more than most people around us. Having AS is also like a gift, not a curse, however. I am now doing and hoping to tag the AS community also, hopefully, once I share this onto the AS community groups that I am on Facebook, as well as hopefully maybe just anyone in general that's been subscribing to me or anything that feels to tag this along. Feel free to share it, pretty much, and share it. The reason being, as I said before in my very first video for these videos, is to create a better understanding, knowledge and awareness, remove the stereotypes of people thinking that AS is a curse or AS is doom and gloom and stuff, which it's not really the case. You know, it's how we make our lives, so to speak. Pretty much, well, if the people that I'm just going to challenge, hopefully, or not challenge, but hopefully I want to tag in that community, will be able to share their 5 answers to these questions, pretty much, also, so that hopefully you can get a better understanding of how we work, because every person with autism or AS works differently. So till next one, have a good day, pretty much, folks, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, or then just private message me on Facebook on Aspie. So have a good one, and